So today we're looking at the Toolbox.Vericel app as well, created by Quirky Zombie, which has a lot of great information about the game in general, but looking specifically at Burning, Hull Breach, Morale, Assimilated, and Taunt, the status effects currently in the game. So Hull Breach is probably one of the most important status effects to put on an enemy ship or player. Basically, it is 150% more damage from a crit. So basically, if Hull Breach is applied, you're getting the bonus 50% increase the critical hit damage as well as the general attack, so the 100% of your attack. So it ends up being 150% more damage from a critical that is applied to an enemy player or hostile. Now, again, Hull Breach only works if you score critical hits on your opponents. And yeah, it's a great ability, and officers like B'Elanna Torres can be leveled up to make that Hull Breach chance 100%. So with Burning is quite interesting. It does 1% of damage of an opponent's hull at the end of a round. So basically, if you're going 100 rounds in combat, you can bring an opponent from 100% hull to 0% hull. Interestingly, officers like Tau, which are kind of locked away in the game now, do a lot more Burning style effect, I guess, with removing hull of an opponent. Neelix is the most consistent source if you can get him to 100%. Also, things like the Ynnarian Execution Post can be quite useful to proc some Burning. So if you are a G7 player, you can use things like the Execution Post to replace a below deck officer like Neelix, or in the case of Hull Breach, you can use the Temporal Conduit to replace B'Elanna Torres below deck as well. So morale is quite interesting as well. Basically, Harry Kim is the most consistent source of morale. You can get him to 100%, especially below deck 2, freeing up above officer space for more interesting crews. Morale increases piercing stats by 10% for the weapon attack. Again, we'll go into weapons at a different time and different guns and whatnot. And it's applied at the end of the round after all bonuses have been applied as well. But the biggest benefit from a lot of these states, like Morale, Hull Breach, and Burning, is the star path research. And they have a lot more interesting things like isolated damage increases, hull repair per round, reducing critical damage. They're quite good there. Also, the Assimilated exists in the game as well as another status effect. Quite interesting because if you can proc Assimilated, it reduces your opponent's active captain ability. The active officer ability by 25%. So you can use that to your advantage against opponents in cracking bases. Also great for PvP too. You can make whatever captain they're using less effective, or the officers also less effective, so increasing your chances of winning that fight there as well. Taunt is another state as well. Basically, using the Vindicator is primarily where it is, and it's just going to take a lot of the damage from any of the Armada attacks. So if you're a high-level player and you're helping out low levels, maybe bring a Vindicator. It's got low hull, so you're not taking up a lot of loot, and basically you're just going to cover all the lower-level players and keep them alive, so they can just keep running Armadas if you're so inclined to do that as well. Thanks for hanging out, guys. It's been another short dive into some of the status effects that should be explained more in-game. And hopefully we'll be doing more of these. And give me a like if you enjoy the content. Let me know in the comments as well on things I've missed or some crew setups that you really like to proc a lot of these stats. And Outpost there are a few Outpost buffs now that kind of proc these stats as well, but a lot of us aren't really using the Outpost buffs at the moment, so we'll see if that does come into play in the future. Thanks again for hanging out, guys. I'll see you on the next one.